Alright, let's get started. Finally doing another reaction video. Wait, why am I not on camera? Oh, right. I'm over here now. Hey everyone, Brobuscus here, and welcome back to another Let's Watch a Death Battle. Today's episode is Madara versus Aizen. Naruto versus Bleach, round 2. Now, a few things I want to mention before we actually get into it. First off, yes, I moved to the position of my desk. It's kind of a work in progress. I'm sure I will think of something. So please ignore this as much as you can. I don't like it either. Just deal with it for now. I promise I will do something about it soon. Secondly, something I constantly struggle to do, but I'm going to try to get better at it. Please click the link in the description below and go watch the actual episode itself. Please support the official release. Watch the official episode and then come back and see my reaction. That's really how you should handle reaction videos in general. I don't think this is really necessary, but just do it anyway, please. I don't think saying to go support the official release is necessary because chances are you probably should anyway, but that's just common sense. But yeah, go watch the official release. Okay, I will get better at trying to script that, if I even decide to script that, but whatever. Okay, so Madara versus Aizen. So yeah, this is definitely a very anticipated episode. In more ways than I think. So this being the penultimate episode, that means obviously the next episode is the finale. So, yeah, there's quite a bit riding on that, but just in terms of this episode, lots of people wanted it. I especially want to shout out my good friend, Autistic Gamer Sean, as this is his most wanted, so you can now join the list of people who got their most wanted fights to happen alongside myself, your only mate, and so many other people. But okay, how do I know these characters? Well, not a lot. I don't really know a ton about these characters, but I know some things. I know basic knowledge on Madara. Just that he's kind of the big bad of Naruto, and that he got cucked by Kaguya to be the actual main villain. Although Aizen suffered the same fate. He's supposed to be the big bad, and then he got cucked by Ewok. So, yeah, that's something these two have in common for sure. This light, I'll do something about it, I promise. Okay, when it comes to the two franchises, I was never really a big fan of Naruto, to be honest. It was just one of those shows. I think I watched one episode of it. I don't remember how long ago this was, and I wasn't into it, so I just kind of never saw it again. I've seen bits and pieces leading up to their Naruto characters' death battles, but that's about it. So the majority of my knowledge on Naruto is just what other death battles have said. As for Bleach, I have seen a little bit of Bleach. Not a lot. I think the first 30 episodes, and then I just constantly stopped there. Not because I think the show is bad, but because I just have other shows I want to watch, and I have other things I want to do. So, yeah. So I don't think I ever got to the point where I would meet Aizen, but I did see his fight with Ichigo, and I thought that was really cool. So, yeah. I know this is a very anticipated episode, but I'm going into this as kind of a casual viewer. As for, all of this, so I guess obviously I'll start with who I want to win. Well, just based on the experience I have with either character. Just I'm gonna root for Aizen. But I think that becomes a problem when I think Madara is gonna win this. Now I have been proven wrong in the past with this season. I got Geese and Macho Man wrong, but admittedly, I don't have a lot of stakes in this fight. Like as far as like, will I end up disagreeing with the outcome or what I like truly believe is going to happen? But so obviously I'm gonna be paying very close attention to the analysis here. Hopefully I don't get lost with the terms used for their transformations and whatnot, or their abilities, because they're shown in the anime. But just from everything I've heard, it looks like you can argue similar attack potency for both. Like you can argue one way or the other. It seems like Madara is faster and has the Sharingan on top of that, which allows for precog. Aizen has better regen, but Madara has pretty good regen too. Basically, I'm going by strength and speed here. And if Aizen does win, then all right. Like I said, I have no stakes in this fight. I'm just gonna watch it as someone who likes death battle a lot. But yeah, this should definitely be a good one. I'm looking forward to this. So I'm going to stop talking. It's like 2:45 as I'm watching this. So this fight's been out for almost 2 hours. Let's watch.
Madara Uchiha, the legendary messianic shinobi from Naruto.
Sosuke Aizen, the Soul Reaper who stood upon the heavens from Bleach.
We may dream of glory, but these two have the will to power to take it by force and claim a seat among the gods.
They're the biggest, baddest anime bosses around, and not even death can stop them. Ghost versus zombie. Let's go. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
That's actually an interesting dynamic.
Analyze their weapons, armor, and skills
think
to
about
find out
that.
who would win a death battle. Endless destruction, countless dead, a plot to conquer the planets. The ninja world was at war.
For the 4th time, only one man could save humanity from itself, from beyond the grave.
The same man who orchestrated this war in the first place in order to end all wars forever. Madara Uchiha.
Yeah,
From birth,
that's how
war
that
was
works.
the only thing the young Madara knew, and there was no ninja he liked fighting more than Hashirama Senju. They're basically ninja Romeo and Juliet.
Belonging to opposing clans, Madara and Hashirama were forced to battle each other for years, all the while dreaming of a better future.
5D
Their
chess?
bromance eventually overcame their clans'
Okay.
differences, and the two groups merged, creating the village of Konoha.
But Madara wasn't satisfied with Hashirama's dream of peace through cooperation. He desired an immortal peace through total domination.
Everyone else thought that was crazy, so he bounced, and then he came back.
I
to
wonder
wage
why they
war
would think
against
that's
the
crazy.
village he helped build. Well, that didn't last long, huh?
Madara's megalomania was perhaps faded, considering he is in fact the reincarnation of the demigod Indra Otsutsuki and the inheritor of his immensely powerful chakra.
Basically, physical and spiritual energy that makes ninja magic. Madara specializes
Yup.
in fire and wood-style jutsus, which just seems irresponsible to put those together, like a gender reveal party waiting to happen.
His wood is especially impressive,
Sure.
considering it's the only style of elemental jutsu that can create life. Why are you looking at me like that?
Madara can even use his Gunbai to absorb ninjutsu and return it right back to
It is a
center.
giant
You know
guitar.
You're a badass when you can take on armies with just a friggin' fan.
Madara's torn
Okay,
apart
yeah, it's a
four
fan, but it
ninjas
looks like a
without
guitar.
sweat, taken a beating from every tailed beast at once, and even defeated the 5 Kage, some of the strongest shinobi in the world.
The Raikages even stated to be fast enough to move at light speed. And even weaker ninja like Orochimaru have dodged literal photon beams.
But Madara's greatest tool is the one born from his very bloodline, the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. These magical eyes massively enhance
Oh,
his
that
perception
transition
down
was
to
smooth.
cellular level, allowing him to predict movements, see the flow of chakra, and summon the mighty perfect Susanoo.
The Sharingan can also cast a genjutsu that'll trap anyone that looks at it in an illusion, and even break them out of those same illusions.
In Sasuke's case, even ones as strong as Itachi Tsukuyomi, which can warp your perception of time. Itachi used it on a fellow Uchiha and made her live out her entire life in the span of 1/100th of 1/1000th of 1/1,000,000th of a second.
And when she died in the illusion, she died for real. If Sasuke could break out of it, Madara could too, easily.
And after grafting some
I'm sorry, what?
to himself, he
Would always have a piece of his Romeo inside him. This is my ship, Wiz. Stop looking at me like that.
He not only gained a healing factor strong enough to regenerate from having half his body vaporized, but also the terrifying Rinnegan.
AKA the big chungus of all eye magic. The ringy eyes let Madara absorb chakra and ninjutsu, create invisible limbo clones, see and remove your soul from your body, and summon giant-ass meteors, as if he needed any more fucking powers.
While Rinnegan some of the Sharingan's unique abilities, he can switch between them at will.
After tearing the ninja world a new asshole, Madara was finally defeated in a climactic battle for the ages by his BFF, and thus the life of a legendary shinobi came to an end in the arms of his one true love. Or did it?
Alright, this is gonna get pretty crazy, but just bear with me. Fearing a defeat in battle, Madara set a time-delayed jutsu that would posthumously rewrite reality and bring him back to life. And it worked! So Madara tricked another Uchiha, Obito, into witnessing his best friend murdering his other best friend. Then he tasked Obito with manipulating the world into another war. Meanwhile, he gave his own Rinnegan to Nagato with the goal of getting it back after he was brought back to life the second time with the outer path because he died again. Make sense?
Nah, that'll never work.
You're right, it didn't! So Obito went out and got the Rinnegan back from Nagato's corpse, because he died. Then Kabuto brought Obito back to life, and he got his eyes back from Obito after some backstabbing. Then he sealed the awakened Ten Tails within himself in order to gain ultimate power and create the world's greatest nap time ever!
Look what you people have done to him. You think Ten Tails' power
Wiz
would be
needs to get
awesome,
another
but
clone.
Stinky 8 balls of doom are so lame.
Don't let their size fool you. These truth-seeking orbs are in another league. The Ten Tails is strong enough to wipe continents off the map, and the orbs can be shaped into weapons that will completely disintegrate anything they come into contact with. Not even ninja
Yeesh.
resurrected through Edo Tensei like Minato could regenerate limbs lost to the truth-seeking orbs, which means they had to erase
Was it
the
Minato?
original
Okay.
spirit itself.
I've always pronounced it
Madara's power
Minato.
was
That's
so
how. That just
insane,
goes to show how much I
it's
know about Naruto.
comparable to the original Sage of Six Paths, the dude who helped create the friggin' moon.
And when Madara created meteors, they were large enough to show up against the curvature of the Earth. Measuring their size and estimating the height at which Madara lifted them, they'd have to possess a potential energy of at least 372 petatons of TNT.
He was even fast enough to keep up with 8 Gates Guy, who kicked hard enough to bend space. Madara even has an attack where he hawks light speed loogies.
Considering even base Madara has displayed speeds on par with Light Timing Ninja, we know Ten Tails Madara would have to be significantly faster thanks to the Ten Tails' power.
With virtually no one left to oppose him, Madara's plot was finally in the endgame. He awakened the Rin Sharingan, and with the God Tree summoned, he cast the Infinite Tsukuyomi, spreading the tree's roots across the entire planet and capturing every single person in the world. This would enslave all of humanity in an endless dream world, free of conflict forever. Peace through total domination.
Manipulating this tree with his chakra would have involved physically spreading its roots through and around the entire Earth in mere moments. Estimating the tree's mass and the speed at which the roots were moved, his chakra must have released an energy exceeding 1 yotaton of TNT.
And this was with just
Interesting.
one jutsu. Is there a character that could possibly even touch Madara Uchiha?
Kishimoto himself didn't even know.
There's the
Madara's
meme.
power was so overwhelming, the only thing that could take him down was treachery.
Even the man with the magic eyes couldn't see that coming.
All that was left was his old friend Hashirama, there to comfort him in his final moments.
Just like Romeo and Juliet, for never was there a story of more woe than this of Hashirama and his Madabro. I read it in iambic pentameter.
Is there a gas leak in here?
Now the real fun begins.
The soul
And now we have
was in
Bleach.
chaos. One of its leading Shinigami was set to be executed under suspicious circumstances. A band of humans from the living world had invaded to save her, and Sosuke Aizen, captain of the 5th Division of the Gotei 13, was dead. Murdered.
Oh my gosh.
What dastardly mastermind could have been behind all this? He'd have to be a galaxy-brained 5D chess master.
The man responsible was, in fact, Sosuke Aizen.
Little is known about the man's past, only...
Oh my gosh, I never could have seen that coming.
Human man, but a soul reaper.
These Shinigami are spiritual beings who ferry lost souls to the afterlife and purify those who have turned evil in the living world.
They're badass anime wizard Grim Reaper swordsmen. Though Aizen himself
Pretty much.
was hardly that cool. I mean, just look at those glasses. Dork.
But this Clark Kent was harboring a secret. Aizen had spent years
They just
attempting
call
to
him
develop
Clark
the
Kent.
means to ultimate power, ruining the lives of many of his colleagues via his twisted experiments.
Oh, so when Aizen does it, he's a supervillain. But when you do it to me, it's shut the hell up, Boomstick. You're under NDA, and I know about the stuff you've done.
As a Shinigami, Aizen is made of Reishi, being spirit matter, and empowered by Raryoku, being spirit energy. Entities made of Reishi are completely invisible to anyone without specific supernatural awareness, though a Shinigami's body is still tangible and can be damaged normally.
And with his Raryoku energy, Aizen can create incredibly powerful blasts. He's so strong, weaker beings will literally disintegrate if they get too close to him.
This is due
Oh my
to his
gosh.
Reiatsu, a localized spiritual pressure exerted as a result of his enormous power.
He also knows tons of Kido, or spells. He can create force fields, bend the light
And a
around him
Dynasty
to make
Warriors
it
as
impossible
Bleach
to
game?
detect, fire concentrated bolts of lightning, and absorb the energy from his surroundings to make giant-ass
Oh,
energy
Jump
dragons.
Force.
Perhaps his deadliest Kido is Kurohitsugi. After an extensive incantation, Aizen surrounds his target in an enormous black coffin that distorts space and time and tears its victims apart.
Aizen's plotting finally came to fruition during the invasion of the Soul Society, where he faked his death using his greatest weapon, his Zanpakuto, Kyoka Suigetsu.
A Shinigami Zanpakuto is a magical sword that possesses a sentient spirit. Kyoka Suigetsu gives Aizen complete control over his victim's senses the instant they lay eyes on the sword. This complete hypnosis traps its victims in a nearly perfect illusion that Aizen can manipulate at will, making himself virtually immune to attacks while his opponents are sitting ducks.
It's so strong that it kept a group of ex-Soul Reapers known as the Visored trapped for over 100 years without them even knowing it. It's one of the most broken powers ever and the definition of anime bullshit.
But it was all worth it when he perfected his ultimate creation, the Hogyoku, an immensely powerful reality-warping device that, quote, materializes the user's wishes.
In Aizen's case, it realized his desire to become the strongest being in the universe. With it, he can heal any of his wounds, even when half his body is vaporized. And more importantly, it
sounds familiar.
exponentially increases his power over time through evolution by turning him into a horrifying butterfly monster man.
A being
Yeah.
exactly strong enough to dethrone and replace the Soul King, the deity that controls the cosmic balance. Even a minor disruption to the Soul King's influence led to the three worlds of Earth, the Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo to start physically collapsing.
That it implied that the Soul King has to be outputting enough energy to hold all these places together at all times.
Considering each should be roughly the same size, this would require an energy of over 140 zetatons of TNT.
Aizen is powerful enough
Okay.
to vaporize mountains as a side effect of a sword swing. His casual energy blast
Isn't that
can
Ichigo?
disintegrate huge chunks of the earth, and he can take on armies with
Or am I
just the
misremembering?
Reiatsu alone.
He even defeated the rest of the Gotei 13 without so much as breaking a sweat.
So he should be way stronger than Soul Society heavy hitters like Kenpachi, who sliced this one.
Who really needs to be in death battle.
Asteroid to pieces.
That's roughly the width of Great Britain. An asteroid of this size would have to carry a kinetic energy of at least 44 petatons of TNT.
And Aizen
Okay,
was
so that's
badass,
lower than
he literally
Madara's
transcended
meteor
other
feat, but I guess there
Shinigami
was more
power. He
meteors,
was in a
so.
whole other dimension from the rest of them.
Until he fought Ichigo Kurosaki.
The battle we've all been waiting for. Way before this in the Soul Society arc, Ichigo was already as fast as lightning. And by this point, after all his power boosts, he'd even be faster than light. Hell, even weaker characters like this lady can dodge light beams.
Though their fight was epic, Ichigo had transcended the Shinigami as well. And even Aizen himself, feeding upon his insecurities, the Hogyoku abandoned Aizen, who was quickly defeated and imprisoned within the bottommost level of the Soul Society's prison. Aizen was left alone, His great power he sacrificed so much to achieve was gone forever.
Or was it? Somehow he ended up getting even stronger than before. But what made him so strong? Could it be the chair?
It's not the chair. It could theoretically be due to the chair's restraints keeping his Reiatsu from properly releasing, building it up within him until he was stronger in base than he was at his previous max.
Nah, it's definitely the chair. And, since the chair could still hold him after he got stronger, wouldn't that make it even stronger than him? Even stronger than the Soul King? All hail the mighty Chair-sama, most powerful being in all of Bleach.
Wiz, that's a
He
mood.
managed to hold his own against the Quincy warlord Yua, who absorbed the power of the Soul King himself. He even used Kyoka Suigetsu to trick him, and Yuha's a dude who can literally see every possible future all at the same time. All according to Keikaku, bitches!
And after standing among the gods themselves, Aizen returned to captivity and pondered the meaning of his existence.
Even trapped in a prison, sealed off in a different dimension with a 20,000-year sentence, he remains the most dangerous being in the world.
Who knows what schemes are brewing behind those cold, calculating eyes? No compassion, no empathy, only the drive for power.
No one has ever stood at the top. Neither you nor me. From now on, I alone will stand at the top.
Alright, the combatants are set and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
And pause. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be a tricky one. Unless I'm like misremembering something, or I missed something. Okay, so it seems like they have pretty even speeds from what they've said. But I think the Sharingan is gonna like give Madara the edge there. So, because I don't think Aizen has anything like on the level of like precog. I don't think. Then it's power. I keep forgetting is like what's bigger between like a Yodaton and a Zetaton. So I think that's going to be a major. I think that power is going to be a major factor, but I don't remember what side has the advantage there. Actually, to Google. Okay, Yodatons are bigger. Okay, so Madara has the edge there. At least from what it seems like. So, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Madara. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with Madara. I could be misremembering something, and if I am, then okay. But, just doing a quick Google search on what's bigger between Yodatons and Zetatons, I'm going to go with Madara. And just, I want to play a little safe because I know that Madara is the consensus here. So, at least in the versus circles I'm in. I know on YouTube and Twitter, everybody's going for Aizen. So, and again, if Aizen does win, then okay, I will accept. Because, again, I have literally no strong feelings one way or the other. I obviously would prefer Aizen to win, but if he doesn't, then, you know, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Okay, this would be the part where I talk about the preview I saw, and I did see it, but I actually really want to get into this, not only because I think this fight's going to be cool, but also I really, really want to know what the next time is. All I will say is I do know that both voice actors, it's Nicholas Angelou as Madara and Philip Sacramento as Aizen. So, yeah, and the fight does look cool. The track slaps, blah, 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 blah. Let's get into this fight. Play.
I can see everything.
Now's range, like voice range, just man.
Did you see that?
And preview ends here. Although I did see they posted an Instagram preview. I did see that, so that's where the cast preview ended.
Nothing more from a human.
Mere parlor tricks. Don't get so full of yourself.
Philip is killing it as Aizen. Oh, they showed off a little bit more from that. Unless I'm misremembering. Alright, this is where the Instagram preview ends. So now it's 100% blind. Here we go. Oh, that was a detailed shot. Oh, all the way up to that meteor. Screw the meteor! And now there's more meteors! Oh, okay. Whoa! Okay, those are dragons. And now we got clones. Can Aizen see those? I feel like he should, but you know, but I just don't know.
I love it. The thrill of battle, the pounding of my heart, the taste of my own blood. I love it! You almost had me there, you tricky bastard.
Nothing escapes my illusions, human. Know your place.
Is Aizen gonna win? Or is this another illusion? Yeah. Ow!
What a wonderful dance.
Is it? Yep.
KO! Of course Madara won! He fake died twice for his 5D chess plan, while Aizen only fake died once.
Aizen and Madara were extremely...
I'll admit that last one had me fooled.
By our calculations, Madara spreading the God Tree's roots with his chakra was about 7 times more powerful than the best that Aizen could scale to with his Ryoku.
Oh, okay.
And both ended up being roughly as fast as each other.
While there are a range of possible feats and numbers to go with to determine their limits, the point is they're always going to be close to even.
Which means the main thing that mattered here were their powers and how they countered each other. Madara's enormous variety of abilities eventually overwhelmed Aizen.
While Soul Reapers like Aizen may be invisible to regular people, the Rinnegan allowed Madara to see invisible spiritual beings like his own Limbo clone. Hell, the Rinnegan lets you see and remove human souls, and that's exactly what a Soul Reaper is.
Both Chakra and Ryoku utilized spirit energy and operated in similar ways, being formed into attacks like ninjutsu and Kido. That meant that Madara's ability to absorb ninjutsu allowed him to nullify the vast majority of Aizen's range attacks, and even dispel his force fields.
And despite how OP Aizen's complete hypnosis was, Sharingan users can break out of illusions no sweat, even ones as powerful as Itachi's Tsukuyomi. And since Madara can switch between the Rinnegan and the Sharingan at will, he'd be able to break out of an illusion anytime he wanted.
Aizen's illusions are nearly perfect, but fellow Captain Unohana was able to subconsciously notice its flaws. With an eye as perceptive as the Sharingan, which can spot imperfections in genjutsus all the time, it was only inevitable that Madara would be able to quickly break out.
However, the same couldn't be said for Aizen, who never showed any resistance to the kind of mental illusions Madara can create.
Even setting illusions aside, the sheer quantity of offensive options at Madara's disposal, whether it be his clones, meteors, or monsters summoned by the Rinnegan, kept Aizen constantly on the back foot.
But none of that mattered if they couldn't kill each other, and both had pretty insane healing factors that could recover from just about anything, except for those pesky 8 balls of doom.
Madara's truth-seeking orbs were capable of completely molecularly annihilating spiritual beings and preventing them from regenerating. And again, Aizen was a spiritual being.
Since Aizen lacked the ability to do the same irreversible damage to Madara, the ghost of the Uchiha had exactly what he needed to put this actual ghost down for good.
Aizen was an unbelievably overpowered foe, but Madara's own powers, illusions, and devastating truth-seeking orbs allowed him to crush the ex-Shinigami.
Sosuke should have kept his eyes on the prize. And
do you feel any shame at all?
Moderately. Ha! Double pun. Suck it, Wiz.
The winner is Madara Uchiha.
Okay.
Thank you for watching this episode of
I
Death Battle.
accept.
If you're looking to get some merch for the holidays, we've got a bunch of great new items from Death Battle and Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
From hoodies,
Finale time.
Socks to beer steins. Click that box and start shopping now.
What is it? Oh, it is Saitama. Yo! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Saitama versus Popeye. They're ending the season with that? Okay. You know what? I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's I did not expect that. Like obviously. Okay. Good on you. Good on you, Death Battle. I definitely didn't see that coming. Jeez, that's gonna be an insane one. Okay, that matchup might not seem like much to a lot of people, but believe me when I say that that's gonna be a wild one. I just can't believe they're ending the season with that. I mean, I didn't know what to expect after I heard that people say that Galactus versus Unicron was probably off the table, but man, I was not expecting. I had a feeling that like maybe it could be a Saitama fight, but I wasn't thinking Popeye. I didn't think they'd do Popeye. I don't know why. But okay. I'm super down for that. I think it's probably gonna piss off a lot of people. I think Popeye probably wins. Which is hilarious because, you know, Saitama's the One Punch Man. But it also is kind of unfortunate because I do really like Saitama. In fact, I think I would rather see Saitama win. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be a fun one. As for this fight, I should probably talk about this fight. This fight was cool. That last illusion fake out, that one caught me off guard. I thought Aizen was probably going to win after that, so fair enough. That was a good fake out. I like that one a lot. The rest of the fight, it's a little hard for me to like. It was a little hard for me to understand what was going on because I'm not into these characters or into these franchises. So a lot of their abilities just kind of confused me a little bit, but at the same time, it was still fun to watch. And the voice actors, they killed it. That was so good. Like I always comment on how much Now's Nicholas Angelou, his voice range impresses me, but man, good on him. I totally wasn't expecting him to be the voice of Madara. And then Philip as Aizen crushed it, so good. And then Now got his third win. Look at that. He has like the most roles out of anybody on this show, and most of them are losses. So it's good to see him score another W for the characters he's voiced. And the music is really good. That's got to be one of my favorite soundtracks they've done this season. Although Saitama Popeyes might has a lot of potential there. Oh, I just realized. Okay, so I'm gonna circle back to Saitama versus Popeye for a second. So they did a DBX with Saitama last year. It was Saitama versus Superman. And it was an average DBX. It wasn't too great, but I didn't hate it. But in that, both of them had voice actors, and Saitama was voiced by Kagi. Are they gonna get him back for this? 'Cause that would be awesome. He sounded perfect as Saitama in that DBX. So yeah, they need to get Kagi back for that. I have no idea who can voice Popeye. Okay. Well, I'll think about that later. But yeah, that was a really cool episode. It's definitely not a favorite of mine, but that's just down to the characters. But it was still really fun to watch. And I have no idea what to expect for that next time. But I can see some cool stuff working for that. Okay, so that is that. So that's all I have to say, really. So thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.